Next, we have A2.2, and A2.2 is all about assistive technologies. And these are technologies that are used by people who struggle, for example, for someone who has a disability. So the first one we have here is adaptive keyboards, and these are special keyboards designed for users with mobility issues. Keys may be larger, spaced differently, or customizable. Improves comfort and ease of typing. There are some keyboards called SCN keyboards that are exactly like this. They have different colors, they have uppercase and lowercase letters on there, and each section of the keyboard is colored differently. For example, the one on screen that you can see there, the red enter in the middle there and the red enter on the bottom right are colored similarly. Next, we have screen readers, software that reads text on a screen aloud, so it reads it out to the user. These are on most operating systems nowadays. It's on Android, I know it's on iOS, I know it's on Windows as well. Helps visually impaired users access content, supports navigation through audio feedback. When doing the website development unit as well, I will show you guys how to add alt text or alternative text. And what the alternative text is, every single image or box or thing that you have on your website, you use the alternative text so that when someone has a screen reader, it reads to them the alternative text. For example, this image on my screen here, this is of a, let's say this is of a desktop with a mouse and some typing, right? If I were to put this on my website, the alt text would say something along the lines of desktop icon with mouse and writing on screen. So for example, someone who's blind or who struggles to see gets on the website, their device would read that text to them. Next, we have Braille displays, devices that convert text on a screen into Braille. So Braille is what blind people use to actually read. I have a few. Enable blind users to read digital information, often used alongside screen readers. Screen magnifiers, I use this all the time because my eyesight is so rubbish. I have to zoom in, I have to use screen readers sometimes. Enlarge content on a display, helps users with low vision read text and view images, often software based with adjustable zoom. Head pointers allow users to control a cursor using head movements, often used by individuals with limited arm mobility, works with cameras or sensors. If anyone's ever heard of eye gaze or just eye tracking in general, it's very similar to that. Rather than just tracking the eyes, it tracks the entire head. Next, we have single switch entry devices, allow control of a device with one switch, used for navigating menus or making selections, helps users with severe physical disabilities. Foot switches allow control of a computer using the foot, often used in accessibility setups for hand-free tasks, can perform functions like clicking or typing. Sip and puff switches control devices by inhaling or exhaling into a tube, used by people with limited limb movement, often paired with wheelchairs or computers. Now, eye tracking, this is the one that most people probably know, tracks where the user is looking to control a cursor, helps individuals with no hand control, used for typing, browsing, and communication. It's also used for other stuff as well, but this is probably the most assistive use of that kind of technology. Text-to-speech software, very popular, converts written text into spoken words, helps people with reading difficulties or visual impairments, used in education and accessibility tools. I use this all the time. For example, here on my website, if I go to my blog post, I'm going to go to Raspberry Pi 500 Plus, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to scroll down here. Microsoft Edge has this feature built in where all you have to do, let me just go to a decent section. I'm going to highlight all the text here. I'm going to right click on this section here, then I'm going to go to where it says more tools, and there's a section that says read aloud selection. This is actually going to read all the text I selected.
The Raspberry Pi 500 Plus is a keyboard with a computer inside, similar to the original Raspberry Pi 500. This is more of a mid-generation, refreshed to add a few nice to haves. It is the same traditional single board computer as its predecessors, the Pi 400 and the Pi 500, but now we have a lot more IM, 16 gigabytes to be exact, and built-in SSD storage, 256 gigabytes NVMe.
It's not always perfect, but as you can hear there, I play everything or I read everything at twice the speed, so it helps me get through content a lot quicker. It's something I would suggest some students use as well, because if you read a lot of text, you can simply have it do that for you, sit back and listen to what it's saying and focus a bit more.